Yeah, no, sorry about being a little late today. I had to go ahead and get into hack into Kadarius Tony's live stream on Instagram to make sure that he's bad mouthing Giants fans. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Kadarius Tony. Oh, you got cut. Oh, it's a shame. That's such a shame. That's such a shame. He was so good. That was so good. It's a shame. You know what? You know what? It's. I do feel bad. I do feel a little bad. The guy just can't catch a break or football.
That's crossing the line. I
Just
saw
by a
that one.
toe, though. Welcome to the countdown, everybody. It's your boy King, your good friend Jimbo over there. I screwed it up today. I think I'm gonna stop doing it. It's just you. It's your good friend Jimbo
Yeah,
over there. I'm doing a hand jive here. I don't even know
it's,
what's
it's,
going on.
it's that guy over there.
Yeah, but again, welcome to the countdown. This is your Stay Tuned Sports countdown show where we go ahead and we rank who we think are the best teams in the NFL every single week. Now, for this whole preseason, we've been counting down our preseason top 12 leading to the beginning of the season. We've gotten through 10 of our picks. We've gone through
Yeah.
10 of our top 12. We have our picks from 12 to 3, and today we're going to reveal our number 2 overall team, who both Jimbo and I think, respectively, is the number 2 team in the NFL. So we're going to get to that in a moment. But today is also cut day in the
Yeah.
NFL. And if you didn't notice the little part I did before, Kadarius Toney got cut there. So all Giants fans are just. Here's the thing. As a Giants fan, I'm not celebrating. I'm not going to celebrate the fact that somebody got cut.
Yeah.
That's not what we do here. That's not how I am. I'm not going to do that. That's just not the way. That's not what I'm going to do. I am, however, going to take a long swig of this coffee while I go ahead and smile a little bit. That's all. And wait for the inevitable Instagram Live that will be coming out soon. I think we all know that's going to be coming there. Where I'm
I've
going to
been
need
hacked.
I'm going to need subtitles to know what the fuck he's saying on that one, because the last one was kind of hard to understand too. And so we'll see. We'll see. Or
Well,
let's see. Did he grow up? Did he not going to do an Instagram Live? I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, with AI and everything like that, maybe they could generate the captions for us so we could understand what he was saying this time around.
So I'm very. I mean that was kind of a big one. That we saw some new stuff coming out now. The Cowboys have traded tight end Peyton Hendershot to the Chiefs for a late round conditional pick. We've seen a couple of trade moves happening. Uh, there's some news. I didn't know that Amazon is paying the Kelsey brothers $100 million. Actually, north of $100 million for their New Heights podcast to
For
join the
3 years.
Wondery Podcast Network.
Yeah.
So they just keep on winning, making all that money.
I think Travis is trying to bring his income up to
It's not there yet. He's got a long way to go. He's got a long way to go. Taylor's at what, $1.5 billion or something.
yeah.
He's listen. He's not doing too shabby. I mean,
Yeah.
he bought a $40 million bang bungalow just for those two to get away from everybody. So, it's not like he's living in poverty. He's
Yeah.
doing quite well for himself, but still not quite on Taylor's level. But although she's on break now, so she's going to be you're going to see her at probably some of these games for the early part of the season.
Okay.
So I'm sure all the NFL fans out there are just so excited about that. We won't hear anything about that on social media. There won't be anybody complaining or yelling about seeing some blonde-headed tart sitting in a box cheering on her boyfriend. Nobody's going to yell about that.
I won't be
Sure.
watching that game.
Surely not. Don't be that. Don't be one of those people. Don't be one of those. You're better than that, Jimbo. Uh, I'm just looking over maybe what some of the other big ones are. Just no, Kadarius Toney being cut, that got a lot of juice. Malik Willis last night traded to the Packers from the Titans, so the Packers
Mm.
have their backup quarterback, and the whole Malik Willis project in Tennessee is over. They seem to be fully 100% behind Will Levis, Mr. Mayonnaise. So that is that's
And
the
I did
latest on that.
I did see the Packers also released the other two backups, Clifford and I
The
forget
big
the
red
other one that
dog?
was.
No. Sorry.
No, you're good. That was all. So basically, it's just Love and Love Willis.
Hold on 1 second here.
Back.
Nothing with Philly yet because the rumor was that Bradbury may be getting released
The environment
this year.
Was that you?
to
No,
be at Soldier
I thought-
Field
Oh,
for that
what's
week
my
1.
name? Twitter is betraying me.
Ah, they're listening to us.
It's a good thing that wasn't porn. That was just Ari Miroff there.
I thought maybe you found Tony's new Instagram.
No,
release.
because you would have heard ba ba da ba 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 da ba ba. Like, listen. Go back and watch some of the you can't understand what that man is saying outside of I think a motherfucker every third or fourth word. That's the only thing you could understand was motherfucker. That was it.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me run down what the latest are. Let's take a look at what are your Eagles. Let's see. What have they cut down to? Because I think 4 p.m. is the time, so it's 3:35 as we're recording this right now.
Yeah.
We should be live.
You know-
We should be doing this live. Damn it, we should be doing it live. As of right now, Ari Miroff from Twitter, he has the Eagles cut downs as, and again, maybe this is just so far. I don't know if there's been more that's come out or not have come out. I have no idea. We have wide receiver John Ross. You have Zach McPherson, E.J. Jenkins, Will Greer, backup quarterback. He is not there anymore. Pari Nickerson, a defensive back. Linebacker Julian Okara. Offensive lineman Max Sharping. And tight end Kevin Folsch. Those are the cuts so far listed for the Eagles.
Yeah.
That
The
doesn't.
John Ross one, I'm a little upset. I thought maybe they could keep him on for at least kick returns, punt returns.
Yeah, but you just traded for Dotson, so I think that's
Yeah.
what you got. That you got the depth there. There's no there. Someone unfortunately was going to get let go. Now for the Giants, we got a much longer list here that's already listed. Wide receiver Ayer Asante, Lorenzo Lingard, Trey Kaiser, John Giles, Clayton Isabel, Christian Holmes, Breon Borders, Kyle Barr, Marcus McKeithen, a couple offensive linemen, a couple defensive linemen. There's some quarterbacks. Tight end Jack Stoll, fullback Jacob Johnson, Joshua Kelly, Jimmy Morrissey, Lawrence Cager, Trey Herndon, Miles Boykin, Darnay Holmes, Allen Robinson, former Bear Allen Robinson. He was cut. It's weird he doesn't have Isaiah Hodgins on here as a cut player, but we do know that Hodgins was cut. So that's what I mean. I don't know if this has been updated very well by Ari. So maybe he should probably go ahead and do that.
And that's the thing though too, is maybe that report came out that you guys were releasing Hodgins. Maybe a team stepped in and said, "Hey, we'll trade for him," and they didn't put the paperwork.
I don't know. That's the thing. Why would you? That would be. Did they jump the gun at that? Because everything I've seen is still just said Hodgins was waived, and nothing else has been like, "Whoa, hold on." They've said that, and then if that had happened, I think one of the insiders would have come out and said that.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it happen a couple times, past couple of years,
So
where we think someone's getting released and they end up getting traded.
C.J. Beathard was cut in Jacksonville, and barely a zappy. He got cut there in New England. So New England's going with Jacoby Brissett, Drake May, and who was their third string? Who was it? Why can't I remember it?
Milton.
That was it. Everybody liked him. Everybody was saying
Yeah.
that they liked him and they were hoping that he stayed. So, I know there were some Zappy fans. Hey, Bailey, a Zappy. I don't know why I do. I'm used to. But you know who did make the team? You know who officially made the roster for your New York Football Giants? Hey, Tommy DeVito. How you doing, Gabagool? Very excited by that. So, congratulations, Tommy. Year 2 with the New York Giants.
And another quarterback from the Giants made the team. Daniel Jones.
See, you're just trying to be an asshole now. Now you're just trying to get him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now you're just trying to be a dick. Now you're just trying to be a dick. He was named the captain. He's one of our captains. Well, a lot of people were like, "Oh, was he a captain?" He's a starting fucking quarterback. Of course, he's going to be the captain. Like, what the fuck is? Like, are you fucking that stupid? Like, don't make me curse. I'm trying not to. I'm trying to curse less. I understand that's, got to be more advertiser friendly if we get some subscribers. By the way, like, share, and subscribe. Share us around, get more people to watch us. That would be great. And also subscribe so that we can start making some money doing this stuff. That would be great so that I can get a better microphone and we can actually start using Zoom again. And that would be great. So, guys, come on. Help us out. That'd be great. But, yes, like, share, and subscribe. Donation stations over here. Merch store there. Links are also down there in the doodly-doo so you know what's going on. Got all that out of the way. Oh, what's this? What? Hold on. See, this is why I like having Twitter up here. I like checking stuff here. Let's see. Let's take a look here. Trent Williams all of a sudden is trending on Twitter. Nothing happened yet.
Last thing I saw about him was he's not showing up until he has a contract, a new contract. And that was a couple hours ago.
See, here's the thing, and I think we had this conversation a little while ago. I would want Trent Williams. Trent Williams, this is the difference. Trent Williams would be my priority over Ayuk at this moment.
Yes.
Trent Williams is a one-man offensive line in and of himself.
Last year when the Niners played the Browns started pushing, shoving. It might have been
I just
Ayuk,
saw that clip. Yeah,
and he just comes in, and they're all like,
whoa, we don't want that smoke. Never mind. Sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Williams. I'm very sorry. I did not mean to cause you to be upset. Let me back away very slowly.
I mean, he is a dirty player, but he has that
Stop it.
presence.
Stop it. Says the guy whose team went and tried to murder a quarterback that was going to beat them in the NFC Championship game. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Did we force him to retire? No. And I can't believe I'm defending a Dallas Cowboy, but he illegally hit Von Erskine, or however you say his name, hurt his neck, and now he had to retire.
Are you talking about Van Der Esch?
That was close. I had most
You
of the
were
list right there.
nowhere close. You weren't even in the same fucking zip code, man.
I had the Von.
So anyway, today is cut down day. We will be checking in on this. We'll be checking out while we're going ahead and recording here for the countdown. But to get to the main part of our show, to get the main part here for the countdown, let's just get right to it. Let's jump on over. I don't know why I do the sound effects. I shouldn't. Like, it's just, you see it. I don't need sound effects to do it. You see the whooshing. I don't need the whoosh.
Yeah.
I don't know why I do the whooshing. I shouldn't be whooshing. I shouldn't be whooshing. Anyway, anywho, Jimbo, we're at number 2 here. It's been a long journey, but we're here. We're at the penultimate week here of our countdown. Next week, I do believe, now I know we've been teasing live for the last like 5 fucking weeks. I've been wanting to go live. We haven't gone live yet. But next week, we'll be live. We're going to have a countdown and Friday forecast joint show, which is just, it's just us doing the same shit we're doing, you know. And we're not going to be smoking joints. I'm not doing that on this show. I'm not going to do that, you know. But it's going to be the countdown. It's going to be our reveals of our number 1, and it's going to be for the Friday forecast. It is going to be the final division that we will be looking at next week, which will be the NFC East. This week, however, will be the NFC North that we're going to be covering on the Friday forecast. So just to let you know, next week, Tuesday, we'll be live. It will be a countdown Friday forecast mix there, because guess what happens next week, Jimbo, on Thursday?
What's that?
Football, baby! It's here. It's so here. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to go. Thursday, we'll be doing a live stream, of course. Friday as well, the Eagles will be playing the Packers down there in Brazil. Hopefully, nobody's getting stabbed for wearing green. That's what we're hoping. And then we're off to the races, buddy. We're here. We've made it. I'm
I almost want to like cry a little.
I'm getting emotional. I'm getting choked up here. It really is. It's just it really is truly the most wonderful time of the year. But with all that being said, Jimbo, why don't we go ahead and let's reveal your number 2 overall as the fire trucks go on, because they know this pick is hot. They know this is a hot pick and a hot take coming from Jimbo here. Your number 2 overall pick in your preseason power rankings. Jimbo, who you got?
Not really like a hot take, because I mean they've been pretty good the past 2 seasons. Detroit Lions, I got coming in at number 2. It seemed like they improved the secondary a little bit. That was one of their biggest weaknesses last year. And let's be honest, they were one drive away from going to the championship game last year. And they had the Niners kind of reeling there for most of the game.
They had one. Yeah,
half.
they collapsed in the second half, and we discussed this a little while ago when I had picked the Lions lower in my picks. But I thought that the Lions. I had the Lions at number 7. I thought the Lions had if they had a couple bad plays go their way in the beginning of that second half, and it seems like they mentally fell apart.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only thing that kept them out of that Super Bowl is that the Niners have been there before. They had a much more veteran team. They were there, and the Lions just kind of, I don't know if the lights got too big, got too bright. Plus, they were doing well. It's almost like, you get into the locker room at halftime like, oh, my God, we're going to the Super Bowl. And you kind of saw they got tight. They got jittery. Everybody got afraid to make a mistake. And then everybody made a mistake. Yeah. And that's the unfortunate thing that happened with them. But I see where you're going with that and saying how, yes, they went toe-to-toe with San Francisco in San Francisco and had the Niners on the ropes there. Yeah. It took a couple of incredible plays by Ayuk, one that we're talking about, by a lot of their other players, and the Lions kind of falling apart a bit for San Francisco to come roaring back and to win the NFC Championship game. But, yeah, the Lions last year proved that they weren't the fluke that some people thought they might have been, that they weren't the Cinderella pick or something. Like, they were there. They were knocking on that door.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, like, with that Ayuk catch is what, my points to that game of where they just started falling off. Like, it's almost like that happened. And then they said, oh, shit, and like you said, afraid to make a play, or, if they try to do too much and it wasn't working for them. And it just, so with that experience, I'm thinking going into this year, they're going to be that much better. So, which is scary because, I mean, they're good.
I think they're, I'm sorry. I just saw breaking news coming out. Odell Beckham will be starting the season on the PUP list for the Dolphins, physically unable to perform, so he's going to miss at least the first 4 games. I thought, like, what did he do? I was like, but not Odell. Odell's not going to get caught. Like, what is he doing? Oh, okay. So, but no, he's just on the PUP list. I'm trying to see. There's a couple other things popping up here. I just want to check and see. I always want to make sure that a lot of people are thinking they're going to trade Jameis Winston.
Well, because that's what I saw was him and the other backup are on the trading block.
Tyler Huntley, who was the backup in Baltimore for the last couple of years, because they've told Dorian Thompson Robinson, DTR, which is a lot easier to say, that he was made to 53. So the Browns are reportedly waiting, fielding calls for Jameis and Tyler. And listen, I'm gonna be honest. Jameis Winston is a better backup quarterback than Drew Lock.
Yeah.
From what I was able to see of Drew Lock this year, for the 2 series that he was in for the Giants preseason, and then he got injured, wasn't great.
Yeah.
And again, outside of the game that he played against the Eagles last year, he wasn't great.
Yeah. And Jameis has shown that he could win.
Jameis is a mixed bag. Listen, Jameis is worth being your backup quarterback for the fucking pregame pump up speeches alone.
Yeah.
Like, I see that dude. I wanna eat some W's. You know what I'm saying? I get it. That guy can make you want to go. At least he's gotten better than the eating W's.
Yes.
That one, the preseason one you saw, I like the Browns preseason pump up speech he had with them that they went all over the place.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. That was good, Jameis.
I'll admit, like, when the Eat W's came out, I was like, this guy is so cringe. Like, I can't stand him. But he grew on me. Like you said, it's almost like he toned him down a little bit, but still got the point across.
But he's
with his
still
speeches.
him. That's what I mean. Jameis Winston is still that personality, and that's the thing is there was that first little bit where it's kind of like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like, what is he doing? And plus, he had that 30-30 year in Tampa Bay where it was just like, I threw 30 touchdowns. Yeah, but you threw 30 picks too. That's pretty, like, that's. And then it came out that he had bad vision. He got LASIK. He wasn't wearing glasses or contacts. I was like, why? Why wouldn't you do anything like that? So he said his vision got better, but now he's kind of was a backup there in New Orleans. Now he's there. Now he seems to be floating around. Wherever he ends up, like, just listen to this guy and his interviews and his press conferences and everything that he does. I honestly hope nothing but the best for Winston. Like, I am rooting for that guy. I really am. So listen, if he ends up on the Giants as our backup, I would not mind that at all. Not one little bit at all. But getting back to your top 12
One
here.
last thing about Winston too is whenever his pro career is over, they need to hire him as a sideline reporter. You remember Goose, Tony Saragusa?
Yes.
He would be a Tony Saragusa.
He would be the guy that says the goofy weird shit on like the B or C games. Yeah, 1,000%. He would be the fun game to watch. Yeah. Like, they would never put him on the A squad, unfortunately. Kind of like with Saragusa. Saragusa was never on the A squad. But if you got a Goose game, that was a good game. I was like, all right, we're gonna have fun. This is gonna be a fun one. This is gonna be a fun game to watch. Yeah. But yes, you do have the Lions there as your number 2. Over the 49ers, which is interesting. I'm interested to see that you have them over the 49ers. Any particular reason for that, other than your blind Brock Purdy hatred?
Well, I mean, it's obvious Brock Purdy's not as good as everybody makes him out to be. But 50% of it is I think you're going to see the Super Bowl hangover with them. And the other 50% is all this drama going on. You got Ayuk not being out. You got Ayuk being out. You got Trent Williams being out. And I know it's preseason. And, even Bill Belichick says don't put much into it. If Purdy doesn't have his weapons, he's average.
But see, here's the thing.
He's the quarterback that got a safety and a pick 6 all in one play.
Last year, the Niners had just as much offseason drama. The year before, the Niners had just as much offseason drama.
I don't know about as much.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
Debo,
do you forget Debo? Do you remember Debo?
He was the only one.
And when you look at it from that perspective, and even from the year before, and the stuff going on with Garoppolo, and was he going to be there or not? And then we're going to do Trent Williams, and then we don't have anybody else, so let's sign Garoppolo to restructured quick deal so he could be here. Then Trent gets hurt because he sucks, and then Garoppolo gets hurt because he sucks, and they put Brock Purdy in, and they go off on this run, and it seems that if there's a team that's built to deal with, okay, we had drama, but we're still going to win because we're good, it's the Niners. Like, that's a team that, to me, is not affected by the drama, as it were. I think they're a team that can rise above it, as it were. I know I said it as it were like 3 times. I don't know. That's my new thing. I don't know. It's a word of the day. But I do. I think the Niners have that ability to compartmentalize, if you will,
Yeah.
as it were. They can. Okay, this is the business side. This is people trying to get contracts. We don't have any problem with that. But when you're on the field, it's Niners football all day is what we're doing on the field. Handle that shit over there. But if you do happen to come back here, if you're still working on a deal, if you're doing anything, that's fine. But you keep that shit out of the locker room. And it kind of seems like that. When you talk to how some of the guys are, it's like, yeah, some guys hold out. Like last year was Debo, and this year you got Ayuk and Trent and everybody like that. But it seems like they kind of keep everything nice and separate. And they keep the business to the business and the football to the football and however it ends up. Because, again, the track record shows. Back-to-back NFC Championship games. They won the game last year. They were in the Super Bowl into overtime last year. Like it's there. The Niners are perennially one of, if not the NFC favorite. So
Yeah.
You having the Lions on there, saying the Lions are going to make that next step. You're saying the Lions are going to leapfrog the Niners there and kind of be the lead dog or lead cat in this case in the NFC.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's interesting. All right. So that is Jimbo's number 2 overall pick. If you want to take a look at all of Jimbo's picks here, we have the Jets at number 12. He has the Jets at number 12. He has the Packers at 11. Dolphins at 10. Cowboys at 9, who they just signed CD Lamb. I was debating whether or not to go live when they did that signing, and I decided not to. We maybe should have, but I decided not to because kind of everybody else did it anyway, so we would have been lost in a sea of breaking news. But still, so you have the Cowboys at 9, Bengals at 8, Eagles at 7, the Browns at 6, Texans at 5, Ravens at 4, the San Francisco 49ers at 3, and the Detroit Lions as your number 2. Now, here's another question I want to say before I get to mine, because I'm going to go over this with mine as well. But looking at your top 12 here, as training camp has gone on, as we've now gone through the whole preseason, and preseason is over now, is there any of these teams that you would move or want to move, or a team you would put in or take out, switch a position on them, anything like that? If you look at your picks as you have them, is there anybody you would move?
You know what? I probably wouldn't move anybody. Like the only team that I think I would say would be affected by any of the injuries, stories that
holdouts, things, yes,
would be Detroit with losing the offensive lineman.
Penny Sewell.
There we go. I still think they're slightly better than the 49ers on my power rankings, even with that injury.
Okay.
But going through my list here, no. I mean, I would keep them. I would keep them where they're at.
All right.
Keep everybody where they're at.
You're solid. You're confident. You're confident in your picks. I like that. That's good. That's good. That's good to be solid. And we know we talked about them a little bit here, but we're going to talk about them again because they were your number 3, and we talked about them in reference to the Lions. But my number 2 is, of course, the San Francisco 49ers. I still think they are the class of the NFC. Even with all of the holdouts, even with all of the drama that is going around there in Santa Clara, because, again, they're nowhere near fucking San Francisco, even though everybody likes to make fun of the Giants and Jets because they play closer to New York than half the teams in the NFL play to their named cities. Fuck you, Buffalo. You play in Orchard Park. The Giants and Jets. East Rutherford, New Jersey is closer to New York than Orchard Park is to Buffalo. Eat a dick, Buffalo. Eat it.
Can't get much closer to Philly for Philly.
Yeah, no, listen, Philadelphia gets the respect. They play in South Philadelphia, born and raised. But no, they have the whole complex there, so that's it. They play there. I have no problem with that. The Chicago Bears, for now, play in Chicago. I get it. That's Seattle Seahawks play in Seattle. Yes, that's fine. San Francisco plays 48 miles away from fucking San Francisco. The Dallas Cowboys play 26 miles away from Dallas, The football team of Redskin Commanders play in Maryland, 20 some odd miles away from D.C. Like, everybody likes to make fun of the Giants and Jets. Oh, they play 6 miles away from downtown New York City. Eat a dick, everybody. Okay, let's relax. And again, I'm from Jersey, so I don't mind. Which, by the way, if you go to our merch store, you can buy a Giants or Jets jersey, hoodie, or shirt made by me. Reasonably priced, very well made stuff. It's fantastic. We got the QR code there. You got the links down there. You're going to love it. Trust me. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying there, though, the 49ers, I think, are still very much the class of the NFC. I think the Lions, while good, there's part of me that thinks there's going to be, like you said, the Niners might have a Super Bowl hangover. I think the Lions might have first good season hangover. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like it's like they had such great success and they did so well. And I think Dan Campbell's a good coach to make sure that they don't have that. So I'm not saying that that's going to be something necessarily that affects them maybe all year, but I think it's something that could. And like we mentioned, they had the injury to Penny Sewell. I think there might be just it something seems like it might not be great. Now, that's not to say that I think they're bad. And as the season goes on, they might be up. But I think as right now, I don't have the Lions up there. Again, in my picks, I have the Packers ahead of them.
Yeah.
Which is wild to think, because I'm not sure if I think the Packers are quite ready to make that move. But if they are, I think that was dependent on, too, if Love continues continues growing in how he played last year and continues this year, keep on just making progress and getting better and better, which I'm sure everybody who's watching the Packers, watching yet another quarterback do fucking well for them after sitting for 4 years, it's going to be like, fuck! But it could, like, that's what I mean. Is like the Packers they're kind of there. They're kind of there. So that's kind of why I have them up there. That's not to say I think that the Lions will lose the division or the Packers will beat the Lions in the division or anything like that. I just think as of right now, that's where I have them. But I still think above them all, I still have the Niners. Even with everything else, they have experience. They have a elite quarterback, whether you think so or not. Brock Purdy is an elite quarterback. If you look at the numbers, you look at his stats, you look at the fact that for his first year and a half in the league, that guy has gone to 2 NFC championship games, won an NFC championship, went to the Super Bowl, went to the overtime in the Super Bowl. The kid can play. He makes plays. He's got a good arm. He's got good decision making. He's an elite quarterback. I don't want to hear any more about it. You know what I mean? Like, I know that I get a lot of shit for defending Daniel Jones as much as I do and wanting Daniel Jones to be good. Please, for the love of God, Daniel Jones, don't fuck me over. That being said, like, saying that Brock Purdy is an elite quarterback is nowhere near the same level of a hot take as saying, like, I think Daniel Jones can be a good quarterback still in the NFL. Like, I understand how much of a hot take my Daniel Jones takes are.
Yeah.
Saying Brock Purdy is an elite quarterback is not a hot take.
Is Jalen Hurts an elite quarterback? Because he has the exact same stats as Brock Purdy.
No, he doesn't.
You want to make a bet? Because I looked him up.
He does not have the same exact stats.
He does. He actually has more come from behind victories in the 2 seasons that Purdy's been. Yeah, when me.
Why does he have to come from behind so much? Because the Eagles suck that badly. They can't just win games. They can't just dominate from the start. My God, what a joke! What an absolute fraud franchise the Eagles are. Unbelievable. And now, especially without Jason Kelsey there to go ahead and anchor that line. Oh, you guys are fucked.
But I was just saying though. That's all.
I here's the thing, and I'll say this. When it comes to football, when it comes to looking at the various different talent, quarterbacks, all the other things, all of us, you, me, the pundits on ESPN or NFL Network or things like that, hell, even probably some scouts and some GMs out there, we don't know what the fuck we're talking about. Like, we can sit here and say, like, oh, well, I think this guy's going to look great. we're a bunch of assholes in a bar talking about shit that we really don't know,
Yeah.
but we want to sound like we know. And a lot of people like to make the hot takes and say like, this guy's 1,000% going to be this. And you're doing that based on hopefully a 50-50 shot of like, yeah, no, maybe this guy will do good. And then I can come in here and say, see, fucking told you. And then if he's not, you just go, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. What you got to do? You know, we're all that guy. As much as people like to say they're not, a lot of people like to say, oh, well, I've looked at all the stats and I've seen the analytics and I've seen the metrics and I've seen this. And I'm going to tell you that, like, you look at fucking Dan Orlovsky, Mr. Run out of the back of the end zone, or you see fucking Mel Kiper. This guy is a can't miss prospect. Meanwhile, that guy is fucking missed all over the fucking place and he's out of the league in 2 years. You know, none of us really know what the fuck we're talking about. But we still have fun talking about it. Because it's football. Yeah. And this is why we do it. And this is why we love it. And this is why you watch. This is why you talk. This is why you comment. You can go ahead and comment, please. You say whatever you want. Just try not to be mean. Oh, it's YouTube. Everybody's going to be mean. What am I talking about? But, like, that's just who we are. We're people who don't know what we're talking about, trying to sound like we know what we're talking about. That's all. And I feel rather confident that the 49ers are still the class of the NFC. Simply because I don't know if there's that many great NFC teams. Like, when you look at the AFC, like when you look at the Ravens, when you look at how the Texans are coming up and how they're going to be, when you look at the entire AFC North, you know, even the Steelers with the shitty offense, they still have that defense, which is going to be murder to try to get through. You look at the Chargers with a new coach with Harbaugh there, hopefully trying to get better, which we'll talk about him more tomorrow. When you have the Colts, and like I said, I mentioned the Texans, and listen, the Titans have made some fucking moves on defense. The Titans have almost a completely different defense than when they started training camp. Like, they have made moves. So that's the Titans are another team you got to think of. Maybe they're, you know, better than we think. We still don't know about Will Levis. We don't know about any of that. But, you know, you're talking about a team that still has DeAndre Hopkins, even though he's injured still, right? You know, so he's off there. But, like, it's not out of the realm of possibility that the Titans come up and surprise people in there. But when you look at the NFC, you got the 49ers. You have maybe the Eagles if they can recapture 2022 magic and not last year. Because let's not forget also last year, you motherfuckers lost to the Jets.
Yeah.
The Zach Wilson-led Jets. I just want to point that out. And that was earlier on in the season. So a lot of people said, oh, man, the Eagles collapsed in the second half of the season. The Eagles, that entire season, were holding on by the skin of their fucking fingernails to still being a good team. And it just happened, it seems like, after that Cowboy and 49er games where you guys got blown out, like the veneer was just removed. And it was straight down. So that's the question. Is this going to be another year like last year where the Eagles were just barely hanging on and then just fucking collapsed? Do they get better? Do they, you know, like, that's what I mean. I'm not confident with putting the Eagles up there. You know, and again, I have the Packers up there at 5, but that's if Jordan Love plays well.
Yeah,
you know,
there's too many questions.
And then outside of that, like, who else is there? Who else is doing something? Like, I don't see it in the NFC. So I think there's a lot with the AFC. I think you have a lot of teams there with the AFC that can do stuff, but the NFC is, I think it's the 49ers and everybody else. I really do. When it comes down to it, to like actual, factual, 100% Super Bowl contenders, I think you could pick 4 or 5 teams from the AFC. I think in the NFC, it's the 49ers and everybody else. And then from everybody else, you know, can somebody come up there and surprise? Can somebody else do something? Yes, I think it happens every year. But as a betting man, if you're going to say who makes it to the Super Bowl out of the NFC, the 49ers or everybody else, I'm going to probably put my money on the 49ers. That's why I have them as my number 2. Because that's kind of how it is. I looked at all the teams. I looked at everybody there. And when I was trying to come up with my number 1 and number 2 teams, I said, if you put a gun to my head and said you have to bet money on who's going to make it to the Super Bowl out of the AFC and out of the NFC, pick these teams. And those are the teams that I pick. In the NFC, I picked the 49ers. And we'll see who the number 1 team is. We'll see. We don't know who that's going to be yet. That's something that's going to be revealed next week, live, right here on the countdown.
A source told me that your number 1 pick is the Patriots.
No, I can't do that. Not after they cut barely a zappy. I can't do that.
Those bastards.
That's my boy. How do you do that? You can't do that. The Seahawks have released quarterback P.J. Walker. The Cowboys have released running back Royce Freeman. Looking at some more stuff. The Chargers have released tight end Donald Parham. The Browns released Deontay Foreman.
I did see the Bills released Frank Gore Jr.
No! Yeah. After that sweet moment on his... boo. Yeah. Boo. The Titans have released Isaiah Eaton, but want him back on the practice squad. The Bills have traded with the Jets. They've traded for the Jets defensive back and returner Brandon Condrington, per Ian Rappaport. It's a swap of late 2026 draft picks. So the Bills get Brandon Codrington from the New York Jets, and they swap a couple of late round picks for the 2026 draft. So not next year's draft, the draft after that. So honestly, a bag of fucking ball. Like, not even. You got traded for air is what happened there. So just looking at some of these other little breaking news things happening here. Just a real quick rundown. Yeah, my top 12 is you got the Buccaneers at 12, Browns at 11, Dolphins at 10, Bengals at 9, Eagles at 8, Lions at 7, Texans at 6, Packers at 5, Jets at 4, even without Hassan Reddick in there, Ravens at 3, and the Niners at 2. That's who I have there. So just as a quick little breakdown, I'm looking to see what is... they kept Milton. Yep, they have Jacoby Brissett. I think is going to start there in New England, which is kind of bad because that offensive line they have is terrible. So it's kind of like, hey, Jacoby,
perfect reason,
get murdered behind this line, and then when you think it's okay, we'll put the rookie kid in. You know, it's like enjoy getting murdered. You're just there to be fucking destroyed until this offensive line finds a way to gel, and then once the offensive line is good enough, then we'll put in Drake May. It's like.
Yeah, but he knew when he signed on that dotted line.
You knew what this was. Oh, that's
a smart move, though, because we've seen so many times rookie quarterbacks get just murdered by offensive lines and all their potential just out the window. But we did talk about that, last week or whatever it was. I'm one of those that thinks rookie quarterbacks should sit.
I do. No, I agree with you to a point. I think there are certain rookie quarterbacks that should sit.
Yeah,
I think Drake May is one of them, 1,000%. But I also think that ones that are like Bo Nix or Michael Penix, who have fucking 6 years in college, who have that kind of experience. They're a little bit older. They've played 5 years of Division I college football, and like they have experience. They have that. I think they're more equipped and better to kind of just throw right in there. And I think that's what you're kind of seeing in Denver with Bo Nix.
And one other thing, can we please stop throwing around the phrase generational talent? Every player, like before me and the wife went in for the Eagles game, I actually got to watch a little bit of the Georgia Tech Florida State game, and it was like every other player was a generational talent coming up. And generational talent means like one of a kind, like one of one, not one of 1,000.
Well, that's the same. Well, everything got like GOAT. Everybody's like, oh, there's a GOAT. There's a GOAT. There's a GOAT. There can't be that many greatest of all times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not only that, but listen, I'm old enough. I'm an old man. I just had my 43rd birthday a couple days ago. I remember the days where GOAT meant you were the worst. You had someone who was the hero and somebody who was the GOAT. You had the GOAT. That guy was the GOAT. He fucked up. He was so bad. What a GOAT. That guy's a GOAT. Now all of a sudden, GOAT means greatest of all time. But guess what? Not everybody can be the GOAT. And that's what everybody always says. You just watch the Olympics and everybody is oh my God, they're the GOAT. Oh, GOAT this, GOAT that. Everybody's the GOAT. I'm wearing a GOAT chain. I have this. I'm the GOAT. You look at everything. Everybody's the GOAT of something. It's like,
Yeah.
can we relax with that? And I think it's the same thing. I think something gets into the social consciousness, the zeitgeist as it is, and people just fucking run with it. Like same as like with GOAT, with generational talent, with any of those kind of phrases and things that come along. It's like, yeah, it loses all meaning. Like wrestling crowds that chant, "This is awesome." You chant that at fucking everything. Guess what? Not everything's fucking awesome. Yeah. I'm sorry, it's not. But now it's just now we're just two old men complaining about the world today. Dude, what is this Riz they're talking about? These fucking kids these days. Like,
I was gonna say we're the two old guys yelling at clouds.
Yeah, like does it make any sense? No. Am I that upset about it? Not really. It's just It is a little annoying. It's like, can we fucking pause with the GOAT or the generational talent shit? I get it, but not everybody's people talk about hockey being generational talents and shit like that. Guess what? The only person that's even close to Gretzky is fucking Ovechkin, and he's nowhere near his assist record either. That's just on scoring. So again, not close to being that kind of a generational talent. So you're talking about a multi-generational talent, and I think that's what you kind of have. You have to be a little bit more selective in how we go ahead and spread those words around.
Exactly.
I'm looking to see if there's any huge big names coming out as far as being cut or released or traded or something like that. Not seeing anything right now in particular as far as that goes. The Packers did place running back A.J. Dillon on injured reserve, though.
Wow.
Season ending IR for A.J. Dillon. He is going to sit the whole year.
He missed a lot of games last year, I believe, too.
So, not great. Washington Commanders are releasing quarterback Trace McSorley. The Raiders have cut Jalen Guyton, Alex Bachman. No, nothing real notable there. Eagles released. We kind of went through that already. We kind of saw that. Oren Burks, Paris Campbell, wide receiver Paris Campbell, Nick Gates on the offensive line, backup quarterback Will Grier, Hennessy, Nickerson, cornerback Okara. John Ross, who you said you were upset about, you want to see him do. Max Schlurping there for the offensive line, and Brett Toth, all cut. So, yeah, that seems to be it. There's nothing major coming out here. No news yet either on Trent Williams, whether he's signing, which he has not yet. Nothing on Ayuk either, and I got to say I don't care. Like we were like, oh man, if Ayuk signs, we got to make sure if he gets traded or signs, we got to go get ready for live. And I think it was even 2 weeks ago. I was like, I'm fucking done with this. And now we are 2 weeks later, and it's still not done. Like, Brandon, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah,
fucking sign the goddamn thing. Like, I don't know, but I'm not a GM. I don't know the business of it. I'm just an old guy yelling to other guys watching this and trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. I don't fucking know. I have no idea what's going on. I wish I knew better, but I don't. Jimbo, you got anything else to add before we go ahead and get the fuck out of here?
No, just Jalen Hurts is more of an elite quarterback than Brock Purdy is.
Shut the Damn it! And this was I was trying to curse less this show, and I just realized I probably cursed more during the show than I've done on other ones. So, boy, that's actually worked out really well, hasn't it? Way to go, King! Fantastic. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for joining us here. Please, if you got a moment, like, share, subscribe, hit that little notification bell. It helps us out immensely. We also have our donation station over here. If you want to help us out a little bit, we have our merch store, which is kind of like donating money to us, except you get a cool little gift at the end of it. Get a nice shirt. New shirt came in there for all you Philadelphia fans out there. Kind of got a little medieval eagle thing going on, a little heraldic eagle, kind of looking cool. I think it looks cool anyway. I made it. Of course I think it looks cool. But that's there for you guys if you want to go ahead. Check out all the selections we have, and more stuff will be added, of course, all the time, days and weeks, new stuff always coming up there. So that'll be fun. Thank you again so very much. Oh, by the way, we also have a Discord. If you want to go ahead and join that, chat with us, do stuff with us. We're still trying to figure out what we're doing there. We have no idea. We are flying by the seat of our pants. So we're still figuring all this stuff out. But thank you guys so very much for joining us. For your boy King, which is me, and your boy Jimbo. That's your boy over there. He's a good friend and your boy. I'm your boy and a good friend, I guess. Either way, He's Jimbo. I'm King. Thanks for joining us. Adios.